evening. This regular meeting of November 9th, 2020 of the Dubuque Community School District Board of Education is called to order. Our mission is to develop world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. Roll call, please.
Bradley,
Here.
Donahue, Parks,
Here.
Prohaska,
Here.
Ryan,
Here.
Sansi,
Here.
Whitman.
Here. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, which is hiding behind the screen for us.
Is Mike not going to be here? Is Mike not going to be here?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I move the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on October 12th and the strategic plan update session on October 26, 2020 as submitted.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on October 12th and the strategic plan update session on October 26th, 2020 as submitted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we're going to start off this evening. We're going to recognize last year's, is this year's or?
So they're elected last year, but they serve
serve this year.
for this
Okay,
year.
we knew about it last year. It was a fun kind of spur of the moment type of celebration that we were able to do for a teacher from Kennedy Elementary School, Charlie Schmeichel, who was a fifth grade teacher at Kennedy and is now the technology and information coach this year at Kennedy. But I will welcome Principal Nick Hess to come on up to the podium and kind of introduce why Charlie was chosen.
All right. So good evening. Yeah. I think Tammy talked about Charlie being like fun, spur of the moment. You know, as a person, that's who Charlie is. He really doesn't need an introduction because you can usually hear Charlie coming, either his voice or his loud laugh. I think Charlie would agree with me that we work in a building of amazing professionals. We're really lucky every day. And, you know, in Charlie's role as a fifth grade teacher and now in his role as, the technology information coach, even among his peers, he stands out as a leader, somebody that's trusted. He's a tireless advocate for kids. He does everything that needs to be done to put Kennedy and put kids in a better place. So I'd like to introduce the reigning teacher of the year, Charlie Schmeichel.
So, Charlie, we'll have you and Nick come up here first to do a quick picture, and then you can say a few words if you'd like.
Let me give you this
Official
document for your award.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations, Charlie.
There you go. I know.
I'll keep it short. Okay. So it actually, seems like quite some time ago, to tell you the truth, that the bus showed up on my front step. It was really an amazing event, and I want to thank everybody that planned it and organized it. It was really one of those moments where it's like, what's going on? I remember the doorbell ringing, coming downstairs, and my wife, Erica like started fiddling with my hair, knowing what was going on, just to make sure everything looked okay, and kind of like patted my hair down to was sticking up in the back, and doorbell rang again, and just like, what is going on? And so just thank you to everybody who organized it. It was a very, very special moment. You know, like I said, it was, you know, something that I'll always remember. You know, 2020 has a lot going on with it, but I'm really will recall that day and a lot that went on that day, and I'm very, very honored. I'm honored to accept the award, have this recognition as the Teacher of the Year. And I remember at the time saying that I was so impressed with the resilience of our children in the face of an adversity that they'd never seen before, in the face of something that was new to them, new to all of us. Seeing their faces on Zoom meetings and still doing the work that they could from home was something that I cherished, and as a teacher looked forward to myself on a daily basis, because we missed our kids as much as I'm sure they missed us. So I will always, you know, recall this year and having that opportunity to see them and, you know, continue throughout the year in the way, the manner that we did. I just also want to say that I'm honored to work with amazing teachers. It is the people in this district that helped me grow as a teacher, as an educator. It is the, you know, people here at the forum. It is the people that I worked with over the years, the principals, the teachers, the paraprofessionals, everybody in our buildings. I just appreciate them so much. They've made me and helped me grow to the educator that I am. And in my new role, I really had more of an opportunity to go around the building and see, you know, it being a different year, how resilient and how amazing our teachers are in this district. And I'm just honored to work alongside them. They do so much, they work so hard, and they strive to make all the best decisions for our students and really, really put forth the effort to help them grow and continue to do so during times in which are challenging. And so I'm honored for this recognition, and I'm honored to be a part of this district and work with amazing, amazing people. And more so, I'm honored to work with the children that I work with. It's just, I couldn't be happier, so thank you.
Thank you, we're honored to have you on our staff.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Congrats. If I could say one thing, I've personally have been in this space with Charlie prior to COVID, and I've seen him in action. What an amazing teacher. Things that he actually shown me as well was mind-blowing. And so, Charlie, we want to thank you for all your hard work and the things you do every single day for our students. Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you. All right, I believe I handed out some board salutes to
Yes.
those that are here,
Yes.
so, Mr. Prohaska.
Yeah, I have a couple here. While you wouldn't know it from the weather over the past week, temperatures are about to drop as we move closer to winter. As they do, a board salute goes to Premier Bank and its employees for their generous donation of winter clothing for students who need it. With almost 100 winter coats, these items will be available to schools as they assist students in need. Premier Bank has made this generous donation for a number of years, and it has a very real and positive impact upon the lives of our students. So thank you, Premier Bank, very worthy donation. I also have another board salute. The board salute goes out to the cross-country teams at both Hempstead and Senior for their outstanding seasons. The season came with many successes, including Hempstead's Keely Lightson becoming the first Dubuque Community School District student to win an individual Class 4A cross-country state championship. In the boys division, Ryan Winger from Hempstead was the Class 4A boys individual runner-up. Connor Kilgore from Dubuque Senior and Lillian Schmidt from Hempstead were also top 10 finishers. And as teams, the Hempstead boys placed 5th, the senior girls finished 6th, and the Hempstead girls finished 7th. Congratulations to all of our cross-country runners.
Great
Thank
deal.
you. Ms. Whitman.
I have a board salute to our Dubuque Walmart store and its employees for dropping off a truckload of school supplies to support our students and schools. As we move through the year, students often run low on supplies, so this generous donation will help replenish those items as needed. I believe Walmart has done this in the past, so thanks to Walmart for their ongoing support.
Great, thank you. Any other board salutes?
Yes, this is Anderson. I have two.
Go ahead.
The first one, I believe it's to Mike Size and our media team. Last month was National Month Principal Month, and the amount of Facebook pictures that I saw just to celebrate each principal, that was amazing. And I know the principals really received that very well, so thank you to Mike Size and the whole media team for that one. And the second one will be to our volleyball team. They went to state, or I believe went to state. If not, they went very far. Amazing job. So I just want to give them a huge shout out for their hard work, and we are very proud of you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Sansey. Any others?
If I could just add on to
Go ahead.
Mr. Prohaska and Mr. Sansey, board salutes, I would just add in a thanks and congratulations to the coaches of those students who we're so proud of. We so acknowledge the work of those coaches and the important part they play in so many ways in the life of those young athletes.
If I might like to just add to that too, we should also thank very much the parents, because the parents are very supportive. Without the parents, the students would not be able to participate to the level that they have also.
Everybody all around.
Yeah, everybody
point.
all around, yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. All right.
Okay, I will move the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we do have one person that is here right now. I will be calling Carmela Sellers to come on up. Please state your name and address and or school and organization that you're representing. And please note to try to keep your speaking to 3 minutes or less. And if the topic is not on the agenda, board members will not be responding at this time after you speak. So
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
I'm Carmela Sellers. My address is 1696 West 3rd Street. I am a teacher, a music teacher at Bryant and Kennedy Elementary Schools. Did I answer everything I was
got it.
supposed to? Thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Carmela Sellers, and I am a teacher in the district. I am here speaking on behalf of the Educational Justice Group, but before I begin with that statement, please know how grateful I am for your diligence in keeping staff and students safe during this pandemic. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. The Educational Justice Group is a group of teachers, parents, and community members that are working to ensure our Black, Indigenous, and youth of color students receive an equitable, just, and integrated education throughout their public school career. We long to collaborate with you to make this a reality. As we reviewed the Dubuque Community School District's strategic plan, we identified many action steps toward which you are working. We too have ambitious and explicit action steps that must be taken toward our common goals. Developed from conversations with students, parents, teachers, community members, and leaders of color, as well as our own experiences, we have put together necessary steps that must be taken in order for the district to reach its mission of developing world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. One of our district's goals is to empower all students with the education and skills necessary to live healthy, rewarding lives as confident, successful individuals. If this goal is to be met, It is imperative that the district implements an anti-racist curriculum for grades pre-K through 12th and requires Black history classes for all high school students. Institutes strict disciplinary action against those who use racial slurs, make racist comments, or participate in racist actions. Utilizes the funding for school resource officers to hire more counselors, social workers, and mental health professionals, and dissolves the implementation of policies which strip students of their cultural identities. Another goal in our DCSD strategic plan is to expect staff to meet the needs of students effectively and in a caring way, and to demonstrate behaviors and attitudes that are consistent with the belief that all students can learn. This goal can only be realized if the district recruits, supports, and retains teachers, paraprofessionals, counselors, and administrators of color, as well as therapists of color that are available to all students. Requires all DCSD teachers and staff to participate in rigorous, timely, and ongoing professional development in racial bias, culturally responsive teaching, and anti-racist education. Recruits and hires qualified staff to assist the equity director so real change and progress can be attained, and documents all cases of discrimination and racism, as well as closely analyzes and makes public the number of suspensions and disciplinary actions taken against students. It is no easy task to take the steps necessary to ensure all students receive an equitable and quality education, yet it must be done. For too long, the education of Black, Indigenous, and youth of color has been overlooked, ignored, and intentionally denied. A copy of our complete list of necessary measures will be sent to each board member as well as to district leadership. We are hopeful that you will tirelessly lead and collaborate with us in this work to ensure that our school district is one that is inclusive, safe, and supportive of all people. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
If there's any other individual attending via Zoom that wishes to address the board, we ask that you please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. One more time, if there are any individuals who are participating in the meeting via Zoom who wish to address the board tonight, if you could use the raise hand feature in Zoom so that we're able to activate you to speak in the meeting. Looks like we do have one. I will go ahead and allow you to speak, Haley, and if you would start, as the others have, with your name and address for the record, and give me just 1 second so I can allow you to speak. Okay, you should now be able to speak. If you would again start with your name and address for the record, and then as Ms. Ryan said, if you could try to limit your remarks to 3 minutes.
Hi, I hear this is kind of an echo, so I'm going to try to pace my comments to go with the echo. It's Haley Lammer-Heinzel at 1145 Mount Pleasant Street. I have not seen this for tonight. I assume that you will be discussing the rising numbers. And I did want to draw attention back to the meeting August before school started, when board members had our own number or threshold we were looking before we would consider virtual control. And I remember many board members, through expressions and through words, showing shock at the numbers that could be for us. And even thinking that was way too high. So I do want to remind yourselves on that, because I think a lot of us are becoming pretty immune to the numbers. And as they increase, we're kind of desensitized. So remember your August as you're discussing these. I do also want to note that hopefully we're looking at the number, a higher ratio of teachers and staff being infected. Researchers are looking at whether or not the impact of asymptomatic students are infecting teachers and staff. So we are not looking at no all students to the building. If students are asymptomatic, we don't know. And then adults who are more likely to show symptoms would be the ones who are seeing a positivity cases. So I saw today I recall laughing like Marshall. So I do kind of good attention.
It's cutting out worse. Haley, I'm sorry, but your microphone has been cutting out. We could understand you for the first part, but I think I understand the gist of it, but we cannot understand you any further.
Okay. So yeah, students and staff be the big thing. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Hey,
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any others, Mike?
Was there any others? If
I
there,
do not see any others.
All right.
okay, then I move the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Consent agenda.
I move that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. Are there any board members wishing to have any items pulled? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 That motion carries. That takes us to facilities and support services, and I don't believe Mike Donahue has joined us at all. Okay, so Mr. Prohaska, if you will please just go through the motions that we have on the table, please.
Yes, our Facilities and Support Services Committee met last Tuesday. I have about 4 motions to make here that came as a result of that meeting. Number 1, I move that the Board of Education approve the donation of an upright console, piano, and bench to Eisenhower Elementary School.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation of an upright console, piano, and bench to Eisenhower Elementary School. Is there any discussion?
I would just like to mention that I believe the donor's name is Dr. Stenberg, and we thank him very much for the donation.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
Next, I move that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Irving Elementary School Stormwater Management Project, as all project costs have been paid to McDermott Excavating in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and is more fully outlined in the submitted authorizing resolution.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Irving Elementary School Stormwater Management Project, as all project costs have been paid to McDermott Excavating in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and is more fully outlined in the submitting authorizing resolution. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries.
Next, I move that the Board of Education authorize the district's administration to submit a request to the School Budget Review Committee in the amount of $371,520 or as determined by the Iowa Department of Education following DE audit review for modified supplemental amount for open enrolled out students not included in the district's previous year's certified enrollment count.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education authorize the district's administration to submit a request to the School Budget Review Committee in the amount of $371,520 or as determined by the Iowa Department of Education following DE audit review for modified supplemental amount for open enrolled out students not included in the district's previous year's certified enrollment count. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Next, I move that the Board of Education authorize the district's administration to submit a request to the School Budget Review Committee in the amount of $117,842, or as determined by the Iowa Department of Education following DE audit review, for modified supplemental amount for providing an English language learner program for students who have exceeded 5 years of weighted funding in the fall of 2020.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education authorize the district's administration to submit a request to the School Budget Review Committee in the amount of $117,842, or as determined by the Iowa Department of Education following DE audit review, for modified supplemental amount for providing an English language learner program for students who have exceeded 5 years of weighted funding in fall of 2020. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries.
That's
Thank
it.
Oh, we had a short meeting this
Yep.
time around for that. Thank you. And that takes us to Educational Programs and Policy Committee, Ms. Whitman.
Okay, the Committee for Education Program Policy Committee met on November 3rd, and I'll just highlight some of our topics. Mandy Fife updated the committee on how the district is serving gifted and talented students during this pandemic. We had Julie Lang address the Canvas Blueprint course, and Julie reported that at the secondary level, they are working on a year-long project to standardize the Canvas course, resulting in a Blueprint Canvas course. Time will be provided for the Blueprint course to build with support so that at the end of the school year, Blueprint courses are created for semester or trimester for the 2021-2022 school year. Stan presented to us a draft of the 2021, 2022, and 22-23 school calendar. They mirrored each other, just a little tweak on the days depending on how the calendar was. And this will be put on the district website and input will be gathered.
So it has been, just a quick update, it has been on the website since right after that meeting. And so if somebody has wishes to look at that in advance and give us any thoughts, they can do that and let us know what they think of the calendar. And it does mirror the last 2 years' calendar. We are trying to at least find something in our lives that's stable, I guess.
Right.
But so it is on
normal.
there, and it will be for, how much longer, Mike? We'll have to pull it down a few days before our next ed programs meeting so we can just put the comments and put that in a readable format for the board. So for quite a while yet.
It'll be available through November 30th.
So through November 30th, we'll be taking comments on the calendar.
Great.
Thank you, sorry.
Okay, thanks, Stan. Also, Stan gave us an update on Return to Learn. Stan indicated that at the beginning of the school year, families were told that they could make their learning selection either hybrid or online, and they would be committing to a trimester long or semester long. And students may switch on November 19th. Currently, we heard that there's about 115 students that plan to go back to the hybrid.
Yeah,
go
so
to the hybrid.
we've had a little bit of fluctuation with that. We probably are up to maybe 120, maybe 125. So we've added a few more. I think there was maybe some media coverage of that, and so some people who missed our message on Parent Square or other places said, oh, I should. And so we've had about 120 to 125 who are coming back, and we've had, I think, 3 who have chosen to go from hybrid to online. We do the in-person for the hybrid, we do try to keep that to trimester changes because we do have to make sure that we have the space in the classroom and the social distancing and all those pieces. As far as families wanting to go at the elementary and middle school level from hybrid to online, we are a little more flexible with that throughout the course of the year if somebody really feels that they want to make that decision. So, but we've seen about 125-ish come back to hybrid and about, well, I keep looking at Mike because I didn't know if he had those numbers, but about 4 or 5 who've asked to go from hybrid to online.
I was just trying to pull up the updated numbers. So the movement from online to hybrid is now somewhere in the neighborhood of about 160 students.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So a big jump today. So 160 coming back. And that's something we have to, well, the reason we're asking that now, or asked it previous, is so how does that look? Because again, we have to maintain social distancing and masks and all of those pieces. And so we are looking at number of sections, and all of those things could be impacted by the number of kids who come back.
Okay.
A lot of preparation has to be
Yes.
done for these students to come back. And just a reminder that the COVID, even though COVID is on the rise, this data is reviewed several times a day. And our students, so far we've found out that they're really not getting the virus from coming to school.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I would say,
some-
so our numbers have
What?
continued to go up with the county, and I think that
Yeah.
was Haley Lammer Heindel's comment. It was kind of broken, but I think that was her concern. And so those numbers have continued to go up. We are looking at those numbers. We meet every morning. We have another meeting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. We are looking for commonalities. So the numbers, again, the vast majority are attributable to contact from, I mean, we look at that specifically. Okay, Stan has it. Where did he get it? Well, his spouse has it or something. And so we are looking for those common denominators that tell us where that exposure has come from. And it's very minimal at school at this point. But we continue to look at that. And as our numbers go up, we are looking at, is there a classroom or a grade level or potentially a building where we're going to have to take a break? Or do we get all the way to the whole district? It is interesting, as I think, as last count, I think there are maybe 4 buildings, and you don't need to look this up, Mike, but it's 3 or 4 buildings that have 0 current cases. And then there are others that have, go through a period where they'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, and then they'll come. So we are looking for that. It is a hard, because it is, do we help or do we hurt if we send them home? We know that while they are with us, they are socially distanced and they are masked, and we do sanitize. If we send them home, where do they go? And are they in that same level of environment? And that's just the safety piece. Of course, the educational component can't be overlooked in the social emotional health. And I do get many emails and letters from families saying, so it is a complicated, people on both sides of that decision. And of course, we have to care for our staff as well. One of our concerns is substitutes. I mean, we could have a scenario where we feel pretty safe about how things are set up in our buildings, but where we have to make some adjustments anyway because we can't get kids to and from school, or we don't have the subs to facilitate operating the lunchroom, feeding meals, teaching classes, paraprofessionals. So it is every day for several hours looking at that data and trying to figure out what's the next step for the district. So I sent a letter to staff and parents on Friday trying to be explaining kind of where we're at, and hopefully within that email people saw that it's really only as good as until the next morning. Things can change very, very rapidly, and so because I said it on Friday doesn't mean it's going to be true on this Friday. All of those things it's very much a moving target.
thank you.
Thanks,
Dan,
Dan.
could you please give us an update on attendance?
And
I'm
update
sorry,
on
Nancy,
the
update on something?
Attendance.
Attendance. So our attendance rate hovers, our absenteeism rate hovers at about 4%. If you look at the students who are out due to COVID, it's about 0.8%. And staff, it is about just about that, maybe just closer to a 1% or at 1%. And of course, we deal with the non-ill people too, the people who are quarantined, and that really drives. So when you say, well, only 1% of your staff is gone, how can that be an issue with your subs? Well, it's the quarantine piece that really doubles down on that on the sub issue. So students are about, I think, it's less than 1% who are ill due to COVID. I think it's been at about 0.5. I think it's up to about 0.8. And with staff, I think we're right about the 1% mark. Just a shade under. And you can get all that information off of our dashboard. You have to do a little bit of math, but it is available there as far as figuring out the percentages.
Thanks, Stan. We also at our meeting reviewed 6 different policies for any revisions or updates.
Okay.
And that was it.
All right, thank you. New business.
Okay, under new business, I make a motion, I move that the Board of Education set the date, time, and place for a public hearing on the proposed 2021-22 and 22-23 school calendars on December 14th, 2020
Second.
At 5.
at 5:30 PM at the Forum.
Oh, I second that.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education set the time, date, and place for public hearing on the proposed 2021, 2022, and the 2022-23 school calendars as December 14th, 2020, at 5:30 PM at the Forum. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying, by saying aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much. And are there any board members or administrative issues at this time? Mr. Rangan, from anybody? No? All right. Well, look at that. With none, that being none, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.